Hi, I'm Brian. I have always had trouble in school with sticking with things, being able to complete things, and I've had a lot of anxiety around school and jobs and crowds, I suppose. I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 10 years old, and they think that that may have contributed to some of the difficulties I had early in life. So recently, I was able to get into jobs in the past several years ago, and went through some life-changing events that were traumatic, and each time, for instance, a divorce, at one point being laid off from a good job I had held for a long time, and then again being laid off at another job that I had held. Well, I hadn't had it very long, but I thought it would. I thought it would be a job I would stay at for a long time. At any rate, I was laid off for restructuring reasons the first time. Second time was the pandemic, and recovering from being unemployed during the pandemic proved to be because I didn't keep exercising the muscle that I had built up to cope with what I needed to cope with, my anxieties and my short attention span, my fatigue while attempting to operate as effectively and normally as possible makes me very tired. My mind tends to go, 1,000 miles a second with things like hypervigilance, and I have yet to get an actual professional evaluation about what's going on. And I look forward to that. It'll help clarify things quite a bit. And so I've just had continual, and increasing difficulty trying to keep functioning as I normally had. And honestly, I'm not interested in putting forth such extraordinary effort at the cost of such fatigue and anxiety for myself, to constantly be on, always sort of masking and always being hyper vigilant, reading people, paying attention to everyone and everything at all times. That's how things were. And it's sort of why I had one episode where I had a breakdown, full loss of control emotionally, in a seminar that I was in. I had been in a seminar and doing exercises looking at life, and it was sort of a self-help, self-improvement seminar. But the exercise was really touched on something for me that set off an emotional, absolutely uncontrollable emotional episode for me. So that really revealed something, that there's something important and critical, actually, and real. Because in the past, part of my anxiety had been being told and thinking throughout my life that everybody deals with exactly the same things that I deal with, and everybody else does it perfectly. And for some reason, I won't do it because I'm a real pain in the butt, maybe, or being a jerk or a brat. I don't know. I think there's something authentic and real there, and my experience is not invented and made up. And so I'm going to pursue that. So I've started doing that, and Yahara House is one of the big steps that I found after recently having a very difficult time when I thought I might be at risk of taking my life. I reached out and, with the help of a friend, found the Yahara House and these services. Well, it's become and continuing to become more of a safe place, and place where I'm comfortable, where I have become more confident that I am accepted in this space, and I can participate how I'm able to participate and contribute some of the skills that I've developed. I'm a fairly new member of Yahara House. It's only been a few months, I guess. Gotten to know more people better. So it's really been beneficial to have this safe place, safe people. I'm increasingly comfortable, leaving my house to come here. And that's fairly difficult for me recently. I have very few people in my life that I trust. And actually just pretty much one person who I have complete trust in outside of Yahara House. But Yahara House is a community that's based on trust and acceptance. And I'm really beginning to see that that's true and trust that and be comfortable with that. And it's, after a few months, I really am valuing that. Well, I really am liking working in MC, in the membership and membership and communications. Because I've worked in communications areas before. A lot of my skills are in technology-oriented areas with computers, video and audio, photography and stuff. Well, just discovering Yahara House, as I mentioned, when I went to my good friend who I trust, the one person I trust the most, because I was afraid that I really would want to do something drastic. I went to her and she immediately went online and found Yahara House. So to reach out and seek help in that circumstance, and it's also a success to have a good friend. I actually had to intentionally manifest that for myself, having one good friend who I trust implicitly. So my prevailing in that circumstance was following through and joining Yahara House, making the effort to become comfortable here rather than giving up. Self-acceptance. I guess I could say self-acceptance. I can function pretty well within certain parameters, my own life, in certain ways, when it isn't, when I don't feel unsafe with other people. And the key there that is unhealthy for me is relying on constantly reading other people to see if I'm okay. Because I developed that habit at a very young age, because I didn't get the feedback. I had to read, and I had to read minds and know. I think that would be a really good thing to start to become more aware of when I'm doing that, and identifying that, and using calming and coping strategies when I do that.
My name is Brad Schlew, and I'm the director of Yahara House in Madison, Wisconsin. By sharing these stories, we hope to show the wonderful success and improved life satisfaction accomplished by our members through participation at Yahara House. We thank them all for writing or recording their stories in their own words. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and through the month we are asking for donations through Mighty Cause to expand our successful transition employment placement program, which offers members opportunities to work for competitive wages in local businesses while guaranteeing those employers coverage for work shifts. to improve the accessibility and resources available at Yahara House, such as more accessible restrooms, maintenance of the clubhouse and its vehicles, cafe supplies, office supplies, computers, financial resources for outings and social activities, and for members and staff to attend Clubhouse International training to build skills and meet accreditation requirements. Also, to support increasing membership as we rebound from COVID-19 and work to make Yahara House more available to people with mental illness seeking the support, community, and opportunities we offer. I hope you are as inspired by our member success stories as I am, and will give what you can through the Mighty Cause link for the continued success of these and other members, as well as for those we would like to welcome as members of Yahara House in the future. Thank you so much for taking the time to follow the stories and for your donations.